Back on the scene again, KBS 97.5 FM. As you know, every Thursday we get a great guest that join us for a whole hour. Today, we're joined by Hala Al Attar. Let me give you a little bit about Hala. She's an abstract artist originally from Germany. From a very young age, her affection to art became prevalent as she spent her out-of-school hours inside art classrooms, striving to find the techniques that would enable her expression. Hala studied art therapy and spends her free time expanding her knowledge and creating pieces which invoke and inspire. Now, her idea that creativity should involve unlimited freedom is clearly present in every piece as she portrays a universe of emotion through bright tunes representative of the raw elements found on Earth. And every tiny detail in her art is a part of her beautiful and liberating journey as colors explode. Now, that's truly because her colors do explode. As her vision and passion fall into a canvas which provokes inspirational thought and endless commentary. Now, you've had several exhibitions. November 2016, Brick Lane Gallery in London.
Yes.
May 2017, solo exhibition Rice and Royals in Berlin in Germany.
Yes.
And also in Barcelona in Spain, 2017, live painting. And also in December, solo exhibition in Doha Hector. That was in W Hotel, I assume. Exactly. And recently in Al Qassar.
Yes.
In St. Regis. Congratulations on this one.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Welcome to the studio.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
Last time we spoke was 2 years ago.
Yes.
I think it was during the peak of the pandemic.
Exactly, I remember.
And we even had like a 5-minute segment.
Yes.
It was through Zoom.
Yes.
It was very interesting at the time.
It was, but it was very short as well.
Yeah, it was. But I was trying to convey your message in a 5-minute.
Yeah.
But I felt like it was never enough. As an artist,
true.
I always feel like artists, they have so much to share.
That's true, if they want.
If they want, right? Yeah, they're very selective with that.
Yeah.
So, welcome to the country. You've been away for a while. How does it feel to be back?
It's always nice to be back with Doha, you know? It's like I've been coming here back and forth for 10 years.
Okay.
So it's always felt like home, kind of. And Germany is also nice, but it's always nice to be in a warm country.
Yeah.
So Doha's like...
Oh, it's definitely going to get warm.
Yeah.
Wait till summer kicks in.
Yes.
We're going to reach those 50s, you know?
I know. Oh my God. No, I'm not excited about those.
Yeah, that's definitely, you know? And especially, at least in dust storm, I've been telling people, because I usually like to do some outdoor workouts.
Yeah.
And I see like the weather fading away slowly, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna be back to the gym, to the treadmill.
Yeah, no, you're gonna be forced.
Yeah, I'm gonna be forced, and I'm in denial.
Yeah.
And how people always try to go out in general and tell you, hey, let's go to an outdoor cafe. I'm like, bro, you're denying the fact that summer is kicking in.
Yeah,
you know?
that's true.
So I wanted to ask you, starting off a bit about your work. Why are you drawn to this kind of subject, this art form? It's abstract, I believe, right?
It's abstract, but like a lot of people, like when they ask me why I do art, I tell them art is not something that I do. It feels like kind of that art is who I am. Like,
okay.
It might sound like a bit cliche, but
no, not really. You know?
Since I'm young, they tell me these stories that I already forgot. That I would go out of kindergarten class and just go
draw on the walls.
Draw on the walls,
Seriously?
and I get in trouble for that. But I don't remember these stories. Like my mom, she tells me now, and when I watch my videos when I'm young, I'm always creating something. Like always, you see me creating. Like on my bicycle, I'm doing something. I'm building stuff. I used to watch this show called Art Attack. I don't know if you know it.
Sounds familiar.
Okay, there's this guy, every time he shows you how to create something new. So every time I want to create the same thing.
Really?
Yeah, I absolutely love creating. It's just something that's embedded within me.
It's kind of funny how you see people that fall into their place by nature.
Yeah.
Some people, of course, it takes them a long time to do that, but you started off at a young age. Did you feel like it was more relaxing when you get into that kind of sphere, when you paint, when you work?
Yes, it's relaxing as long as I'm creating freely. Like my own, like when I'm inspired, okay, I'm going to sit and create. But sometimes as an artist, if you do it professionally, you don't have a choice. You have to take on commissions so you can survive, and then you have to force yourself to create. You have to force yourself. Sometimes you don't get inspired as quick. So this process, I don't enjoy so much. So like I think a year ago, I stopped taking commissions on so I can just, go with the flow with my own art.
As a free artist, and also as an artist that works for commission, does it limit your your creativity in a way?
So it depends on the client. Some clients, they leave you a lot of space. Like they're like, okay, you the artist, you decide. But sometimes you have clients, which is okay, you know, everyone wants to have this piece that they want. So they have these, okay, we want this. Of course, it limits you, but
As a client, do you usually are collectors or more of like institutions, or because I feel like in order for you to limit an artist in his work, you have to be knowledgeable about the art itself, at least to carry the conversation.
some people they know about art, some people not so much. Some people they just know what they want on their wall. So you know, so I'll paint my son, paint this. It's okay. Yani,
You've actually had that as a request?
yes, and I actually enjoyed it.
Okay.
So I love all my clients. I love everyone who comes to me and trusts me. And but it's just something that I felt like was limiting my own work process, my own inspiration, my own, like, if I'm creating my own pieces, it's a whole different type of process than when I'm taking on a commission and someone tells me do this.
Yeah.
So I stopped taking commissions on like a year ago or longer, just to focus and work on my own art journey, if that makes sense.
It does make sense.
Yeah.
A lot of artists throughout their history, they've isolated themselves to somehow work more on their work,
Exactly.
on their talent.
So this does not mean that I cannot do things on the side that I enjoy as well, you know? Like, you can do a lot of things and still be creating and doing the art. I'm just talking about like the art itself, right? So when someone gives you commissions, you're not gonna be creating freely. This is what I mean.
Yeah. Do you enjoy that? Do you feel like you enjoy it, or you feel like I have to get it done? As an artist, I have to survive. I have to make capita. I have to earn money. Because it's hard for artists to actually make money. You know what I mean?
Of course.
And especially in the Arab world, for years and years, art was not looked at as a profession.
Yeah,
and it was never taken very seriously.
Yeah.
Did that ever affect you? Did it ever bother you?
So many years. So I've been doing that for quite a bit of a time now, and many times people ask me, okay, what do you do? And I say I do art, and then like, that's your job, you know, like I get this reaction, and then I'm like, okay, yes, that's actually what I do. I paint and I have exhibitions and I do all that. Doesn't mean that I cannot do things on the side. Like, I worked 2 years in a theater in Germany, which was very nice, very creative, very artistic as well. So as an artist, you don't have to limit yourself only. If you're a painter, you don't have to just be a painter. You can be taking pictures, you can be a photographer as well. Like, mostly creative people, they're creative in many, many fields and sides, so they don't have to just be doing one thing.
So, which I want to ask you, when it comes to wanting to paint, how do you usually choose a theme? What are some of the equipments do you use? Like the main ones usually?
Acrylic.
Okay.
Acrylic paint is like my go-to. I love acrylic because it's easy to work with.
Yeah.
Oil is nice. Oil is a bit harder to work with. It takes longer to dry as well. I like ink. Water, big time. I mix everything with water.
I've noticed that better.
Oh, really?
Yeah, especially in some of your work. Why I'm curious, how do you choose a theme to the subject itself? How do you get inspired to do the painting? Or it depends on your mood, depends on...
Okay, so to be very raw and honest, the time I'm mostly inspired is when I'm really in pain.
Really?
Yes. This is when I paint a lot.
Yeah.
Like, when I'm really hurting, this is when I start painting a lot. So it's kind of like motivation. I don't know.
That's been an inspiration for some of the musicians that came into the studio.
Really?
A lot of the musicians, especially in the rock genre.
Really?
Whenever we had off air conversations, they would say a lot of the inspiration for me to compose or to write or to record actually came from some of them, whether they had critical illnesses or a very painful journey.
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear.
Well, in general, but I'm just trying to say that there was an inspiration similar to what you're saying that I've noticed in the art field.
Yes, so that's me personally. This is when I can paint. This is how I can create my best painting.
If you're in a good mood, you feel like you can't do it, right?
So I could. So sometimes I can paint also when I'm in a good mood, of course.
Yeah.
But like, I just feel like these paintings that I create when I'm not feeling that well is when I try to turn my pain into something beautiful and put it on the canvas. So this is like my healing process, kind of. and also I've studied art therapy. So
I have so many questions about art therapy.
yeah,
But keep on.
yeah. So I think this is the time when I'm most inspired. So you asked me. Of course, I get inspired by many other things. I get inspired by conversations I have, people I meet, places I see. Everything inspires me. So some things more than others. But yeah.
We're gonna carry the conversation. We got a whole hour with Hala. Big shout out to her joining us in the studio. We're gonna spin a quick track, and then we got the call to prayer. Adhan al Maghrib coming up your way, and the list keeps going on and on. If you got any questions, comments, you can hit us up on QBS Radio on Instagram, 92627. I need to remember the WhatsApp number. We got a WhatsApp number, by the way.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Stick around. Some great tracks halfway through the second hour of the show. Time just flies by fast. Great company in the studio. Big shout out to Hala joining me in the studio. Visual artist. Every Thursday we get a great guest. Today we're talking about her art journey, the inspiration, and also we're going to talk about her exhibition, latest one in Al Attar Gallery in St. Regis. Congratulations on this one.
Thank you.
And the list keeps going on and on. So, I was curious about your major, art therapy. Can you just tell us a bit about it?
Okay, so art therapy is very similar to music therapy.
Okay.
It's not like the traditional therapy where like people sit and they talk, and it's a bit different. Like you create this artistic, creative space, and within that space you start the therapy. So you leave like some space for the people to start painting and expressing themselves through colors and objects and things they want to paint and create. And then if you look at the colors they used, and you look at what have they painted, like the theme, how you say?
Yeah, theme.
Yeah, and everything. And this is where you start the therapy. Like usually, okay, let's say someone uses the color blue. A lot of people don't know this, but blue is the color of depression.
Really?
Yes.
I thought it was usually dark colors.
No.
Like gray and stuff.
No, surprisingly not.
Really?
Yeah, blue.
Interesting.
And depends on what objects or figures they paint, you can also see, okay, what's troubling them. Sometimes the people themselves, they don't even know that they've been carrying this with them. So yeah, this is what art therapy is.
Why did you choose it as a major? Is it like a concentration in fine arts, or it's
No, it's not.
It's a different whole
very
major.
different. Very, very.
So yeah, how come you chose that?
Okay, so first we had like the first 2 semesters we had like creative lessons where we just like painted, and this helped me a lot, like in going my way, choosing my style in art. But then it's all psychological, and it's very, very different than the fine art studies. I chose it because I wanted to dig deeper. Like I didn't want to just study fine art. I wanted to see, okay, how can you actually use the art for a good purpose, or to give back somehow, to serve. But during the studies also I realized that I'm gonna finish, but I'm not gonna practice because it takes you have to be very, very strong to be doing therapy with people, and
it takes a lot of tool on you.
Yes, a lot. Yes. Maybe someday. I'm not closed to it. Like I'm open, but yeah, for now.
So when it comes to your exhibitions, you've had a great journey. 2016, just to rename them again. In 2016, you did London, England, exhibition Brick Lane Gallery. In 2017, solo exhibition Rights and Royals in Berlin. And in Barcelona, Spain, you did live painting in June 2017, and in December 2019, solo exhibition. And recently now in Al Attar. So throughout these experiences, working from different galleries to even different locations, different countries, what did you develop throughout this journey, and what did you feel like you've gained throughout the experience, and how did you come back better and representing your art in a way that's very just to you and the work that you do?
So I'm very, very thankful to be having all these experiences and to be exhibiting in all these different places. I gained a lot of, first of all, I started to realize how much the art actually brings to the people. Even though it's always a different crowd, different people you meet, but everyone seems like to kind of get something from it, or see something through it. So I just love this effect, like to show people what how like what they see in my art at the end of the day is a reflection of their thinking and themselves, you understand? So people like to ask me, okay, what did you paint here, what does it represent? I always answer, is what you see in it.
You know, just to be honest, because every time I see your paintings, I always wonder, what do they reflect? Um, I I find them a bit complex to understand. Like you said, by the end of the day, it's how you interpret the art itself.
Yeah.
You know, so I was always curious. But one thing that I've learned also in my field of studies is that you can never really ask an artist what does it mean. You know,
That's true. Who told you?
I've had my experience of it. So yeah, like, because some artists, they do get irritated by some of the comments they hear from the public.
That's true, yes.
And I'm sure you've been through it, you know.
Yeah, many times. But I just
Like
try to not take it too personal.
Calling your art pretty.
This is what I told you before.
Yeah. No, it's true. It's true. I've seen a lot of exhibitions, and some of these comments, do you feel like it could degrade the work itself?
Yes, but I also feel like I know that it's not coming from a bad place when someone tells me your work is pretty. But I know that another artist would never tell me your work is pretty, because he knows or she knows that it's type of like, you cannot grade the art.
Yeah.
Like even art teachers, sometimes I wonder, my art teacher, how could she say that was bad art to someone? You understand? Like how can you call an artwork bad? Because at the end of the day, art is each and every human self-expression. So it's something very personal. Why is art so precious? Why is art so important? And it's because everyone expresses themselves. It doesn't matter if it's like personal, political, about love, about anything. Like it's just something that is so personal. So when I see someone that gives a statement, so I try to be very careful how I give feedback to artists, especially. You know? Exactly.
So, and going back to what you were saying also about the journey, how did you feel like you've changed from 2016 to being here now in 2022, especially after the pandemic? And, you know, galleries were shut for a while, I believe.
Yeah, I think the pandemic was very hard for a lot of artists, including me. But alhamdulillah, we're all getting back on our feet now. Like, it's been a long journey, but I think it also helps you, like, when you get a lot of time for yourself, it helps you reflect also on like dealing with yourself, and also take your art maybe to the next level, because now you got more time. Like this is what we did. Like now I'm showcasing something that I haven't showcased before in my life.
Really? What is that?
It's AR art.
What is that?
That means augmented reality. It's something that is there, but you don't see it. You have to use your phone or your iPad to make it appear. So now with the whole digital process that is happening, like the whole NFT market, the whole like this, you know, a lot of things are changing right now. So I thought I'd jump on that.
Okay.
On that ship, and
this is your first experience.
First time I'm exhibiting AR art.
Okay.
Actually, I'm the first artist in Doha to be doing that in like art.
Yeah.
It's good. Like it's an amazing experience because people are experiencing art in a different.
And did you feel like they were more engaging with this new form of art than the traditional or the classic?
Of course, it's a whole, like there's something happening. People have to scan that code, and everyone's standing in front of their iPhones and their iPads, you know, like to see it. And it's like you have this, I see in the people's faces, they have this wow effect when they first see the art that appears in front of the physical art. So I did like a hybrid type of thing. I have the physical art, and then in front of it I did it 3D, so when people walk in front of the painting, they can still see the digital art appearing in front of them, if that makes sense. So it's like the art is in the room. It's not really on the painting.
That's very interesting.
Yeah.
I definitely need to pay a visit to see this.
Yeah, you have to.
And what inspired this idea?
Actually, I was doing some digital art before, so you know, like we had a lot of time, so
Yeah.
you have to go with the flow. Every time something comes, you never stop learning, right? So now with the whole NFT market, I started digitalizing my art because, okay, a lot of people are gonna criticize me now for saying this, but I do believe that this is part of the future. Like art is not gonna be the same like it was 100 years ago.
Yeah.
Like when you have it just on your.
Of course, art is always evolving in a way.
I love the feeling of holding up a canvas, painting with a brush on a canvas, and like seeing the art in front of me. But we cannot deny that times are changing, right? We cannot deny that. Look how the iPhone is now and how it used to be.
Yeah.
And look how much like technology-wise we're evolving, and how much things are changing around us. So you have, as an artist, I think you always have to like. You don't have to, but it's good if you have like a basic knowledge about the things that are now happening. For example, with the NFTs, you know, I'm not gonna go into cryptocurrency right now because me myself, I know like just the basics.
Yeah.
But like, it's important to know these things if you're an artist and you're in 2021 and you're trying to make a living. So it's good to know what's going on around you. So I was doing the digital art, and then of course, I'm always painting like physical paintings, normal. And I had this idea to just combine it because I already had the new digital art. It's calligraphy, by the way.
Wow. Okay.
So the whole exhibition is about calligraphy in Al Attar.
You've worked with calligraphy before?
Not really like a calligraphist, like professional, but as art, yes, I've done it. But I would never call myself a calligraphist because I'm exhibiting.
Yeah, because that's a whole different kind of
exactly.
work.
And I'm very, very happy and proud because I'm exhibiting with big names right now in the
Al Attar.
In the Al Attar, and is definitely worth a visit, not only for me but also for the other art that is there. Calligraphy wise, it's beautiful. It's really, really like wonderful art. So
we'll continue the conversation more. We got to spin a track. Coming up your way is going to be Fair Chance, Thundercat featuring Ty Dolla $ign and Lil B, and afterwards Heartbreaking and Encino Hills. I don't know why you'd like this one. It's going to take you back to the year 2018. You like Ray?
Yes.
Still carrying the conversation with our guest, Hala Al Attar, visual artist. So you wanted to tell me that this was actually the first time for this kind of form of art in the exhibition, which is digital calligraphy in a way.
Exactly, yes. It's digital calligraphy, and it appears. So we have like a QR code next to the painting. You have to scan the QR code, and then you download the app that is gonna appear, and then a camera is gonna open, and when you hold the camera in front of the art, this is when the full artwork is gonna appear. You're gonna see the digital part of the art.
And how does it feel to be, as a first time, working in this kind of new art for you?
I'm very, very happy because this is opening a lot of doors for me. I love the reaction of the people, like the interaction between the people and the art is very beautiful. Of course, there's like you get a lot of positive feedback as well as not so positive feedback because
really,
yes.
Why not?
No, to be honest, like the positive feedback is way, way more.
Yeah.
But sometimes, like I get older, like the older generation coming to me, and they're like, okay, you guys are on your phones enough. Like you're holding the phones. People are not enjoying the art. Actually, they're filming just everything, and you encourage the people to take out the phones.
I think because calligraphy also is it's a very sacred kind of art in the Arab world.
Yes, but of course, and
it has a big weight.
But I think this criticism was just about the digital aspect of it. Yeah, it doesn't have anything to do with the.
And what can you tell the listeners? How can they come see the artwork? What are the timings usually?
Okay, so every day we open at 4.
Yeah. Until
10 o'clock. Al Attar in St. Regis. The gallery is called E1 Al Attar.
Okay.
Everyone's welcome. You have to definitely come check it out. Bring your phones with you.
Yeah.
There's not just like there's my paintings, 3 paintings, but there's a lot of other wonderful artists exhibiting with us, like Sabah Harbili. We have Hassan Al Mulla. We have Brahim Ali. We have Inkman, and many, many other people.
Yeah.
We have Randa Fahmi. She does these beautiful lightings. they're definitely worth checking out as well, because she does them all with her hands, and there's just really, really very good work.
You know, I gotta admit also, it's really great to see artists also supporting each other.
No, of course,
you know,
you have
it's something that is that I always applaud, is to see a certain community in support of their work in each other. You know, it's not more of a, it's not a competitive field, but more of a supporting kind of
exactly,
uplifting
yes.
each other.
Yeah, and also like their field is calligraphy, so khat, and I'm really fascinated.
That must have been stressful for you to come from a different form to work with actual calligraphists in a way.
Yeah, but with my art is more about the idea behind it. So we are exhibiting like very historical pieces to like modern calligraphy, and then there's me who's gonna presenting something very, very modern. You understand?
Yeah,
so it's
yeah.
just this fine line of like different
History in a way.
Exactly.
And
Like
then you're coming up with the modern way.
Exactly. So that was more the purpose of me being there.
That was very challenging. I'm really glad that you came in today.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Where can people follow up with you on social media?
On my homepage mostly, halalattar.com, and my Instagram, Hala Ella.
Okay.
So you'll find me pop up. And yeah, that's it. Facebook, I'm not really very active right now.
Yeah, mostly Instagram and
yes.
Yeah. So congratulations again.
Thank you very much.
I hope that you get a chance, whoever's listening, to check out the artwork.
Yes, please.
Support the artist here in town. And until we meet again, which I'm sure, hopefully down the road, you get another exhibition and we'll talk more about your art. For all those that tune in, we got 3 minutes and we have the 7 o'clock news bulletin is going to be with us. We have Don FM. I heard you are married by the weekend, and Lil Wayne, the latest step for you. Keep it locked to QBS. We're going to be with you until 8. More music coming up your way. Happy Thursday. Happy listening. And this is Ahmed Shaheen. Stick around.